Hello, this screencast is going to help you organize your notes. Previously, you took notes on the heart of the story, background buildup, short-term, long-term. You have a lot of notes. You need to start making some choices on which notes to keep and which notes to get rid of. So you will be creating a table at the bottom of your note-taking Google Doc, and in that table, you will only place the notes you want to keep. So you'll be creating something called the Notes Organizer. And this is for the 7th grade history research project. The notes you keep are the ones that you're going to use to write the paragraphs for your website. You are going to want to access your note-taking Google Doc. Cool little trick, click on here where the table of contents is. It will create this faint blue or gray box around it. Click the circle. And I'm going to go down to the bottom of my page, so the end of my long-term notes, and I'm going to create a new page. And I'm calling this Notes Organizer. Now, in order for this to appear as a heading in the table of contents, I'm going to highlight it and make it a heading. Then I'm going to go there and make it yellow so it's consistent with the rest of the headings I have. And now it will be included in my table of contents. I'm going to insert a box or a table, and in that table is going to be 10 rows. My first row is called Heart, for Heart of the Story, and that is the Voting Rights Act, because that's my topic. And I have background. I am doing Jim Crow laws. Buildup. Notice I'm skipping a box each time. That is non-violent protest. Short term is voting registration and African Americans. And then long term, oh, I forgot what it was. I can simply go up to my keyword search and see that here's my long term is diversity in Congress. Okay, great. Now I got it labeled. Now I want to give myself a reminder, 10 to 15. I only want to keep 10 to 15 notes in each one of these sections. So that's where you are going to have to start making decisions, because you've taken far more notes than that number in each one of these sections. But you're writing a paragraph, and in that paragraph, that single paragraph, if you have more ideas than 10 to 15 notes, it's going to get a little long. You want to be concise. I'm going to start with my overview source. So I'm starting at the top because I can use these notes. And in here I see it's talking about a range of topics, from my background and my heart of the story, because I have information about the Voting Rights Act. I also have information about Jim Crow laws. So I'm going to start with Voting Rights Act. I see that there was a plan for a march on Washington to push this bill. Kind of begins my heart of the story. I'm going to copy that note, go down to my notes organizer, and place this within the heart. And because my heart of the story notes are, let's look at the color, red, I'm going to make this red. Now, going back up, I certainly haven't used all these. I want to use as many as possible that make sense. So I'm going through here and I see, oh, well, here's a good just introduction to Jim Crow laws, when they were and what they were. And then below it, I see different examples. Maybe I want to keep 3 of those examples. So I'm going to copy this. And this is on Jim Crow. So this is my background. Place it in there. And then I'm going to look at my background note color, and it's purple. So going back to my notes organizer, and I'm going to make these purple, so they're consistent with my notes. Now, going back up to my heart now, I'm ready to go through this. I notice a lot of these notes are very similar, but there is one I thought was interesting. Great example. White female nurses were not allowed to take care of black males in hospitals due to Jim Crow laws. That's interesting and very telling. So I'm going to add that to this. And it's red even though it was in my heart notes, because the source told me more than just my heart of the story. And I want to include this, so I'm going to make it purple. So in this box, I'm only putting my heart of the story. And in this box, I'm only putting examples of notes for Jim Crow laws or my background. I'm going to go through each one of my sources very carefully, looking for those notes that are going to help me tell a story. And then in these boxes, I'm only going to be placing those notes that are going to help me tell that story. And I want to have about 10 to 15 notes in each box. So you're going to have to make some decisions. And then when it's all said and done, I want to color code everything. So build up, for example. Because that's purple, maybe I could change that color to something else so it stands out as something different than what was in the background notes. That's up to you. So maybe you could make these all different colors. So purpose overall to review is to make decisions on which notes you want to keep in order to write your paragraphs and which notes you want to get rid of. Thank you for listening.